Kristen, are you ready? Jacob asked. He was being very impatient with me. His shaggy black hair was getting into his crystal clear blue eyes. Looking over, I watched him run his hands through his hair. Jacob was hot, I've give him that. Very muscular and tall at 6 feet 1 inch, but not exactly my type. Fun to flirt with, but not my type. Just about. I was the alpha's daughter. My brother was Jacob's best friend, and the leader of our little pack of friends. Colt was every girl's wet dream. Short brown hair, with extremely dark brown eyes. I guess I could see how his jawline and beard stubble made me look good. His was completely bulked out as well. However, since I was his twin, we looked very similar. Colt often got teased since I am the female version of him and extremely sought after by the guys. However, Colt was 4 minutes older than me, so he gets the alpha's position, leaving me to do what I please, and that happens to be tattooing. I started tattooing around 15 years old, and Colt and I would be 18 here soon. I was on my last session with Jacob. I'm excited to get this done. I have a date this weekend, and I wanted to look good. Jacob had a new flavor every weekend, to the point that I didn't bother learning their names. We went to a high school that was part human and part werewolves. However, 3 different packs attended the school, so you had to be careful. There was us, the Blue Fong pack, then the Midnight River pack, and finally the Black Moon pack. For the most part, the packs got along, but there was still always a sense of authority that was tested. Don't worry, I'll make sure you look good. Can't be representing our pack badly. Jacob was getting our crest tattooed on his chest. It was the head of a wolf with its teeth showing and blue blood dripping from the fangs. Kinda spot on for whoever designed it, but whatever. Thanks, Ice. Ice was my nickname. Colt was Fire. As in, red hot, sexy, and playful. Ice is for my cold heart that I chose not to give out. I had long, naturally curly hair, all the curves with legs for days. I could have the pick of whoever I wanted. However, Colt usually put a stop to it. One time, he literally beat my boyfriend to the point he was unrecognizable because he saw us kissing. Since then, I haven't found anyone really wanting to go up against him. Jacob was leaning back in the chair as I finished up setting everything up when my brother and the rest of his post came in. You skipped the last hour? Colt asked me. Rolling my eyes, I leaned over and started working on Jacob. He flinched at first and growled at me. You are not going to want to do that. I warned him. I might be a girl, but the alpha blood and training in me will put all these boys on their assess. I wasn't ready. Suck it up, I said as I kept going. Ice, I asked a question. Colt sat down in a chair. Ace was who I wanted, but was forever untouchable to me. His was the beta son, and would be Colt's beta. His honey brown hair matched his eyes. Only slightly shorter than Colt, he was just as muscular and much more reserved and quiet. He was the type to sit in the corner, drink, and watch everyone else get stupid. It's the silent types for me. He sat down directly in front of Jacob. With his foot on the bar under the chair, his arms folded, made me want to climb on his lap and fuck him. I heard you. I didn't want to go. Dripping my gun into the blue ink, I kept going. Why not? Something happened. Colt's voice became dangerous. These 3 guys and my best friend Emmy, we were a group. Gang might be too much of a word, but no one messed with us. We made sure of it. Thankfully, the door opened and Emmy walked in. Jacob had the hots for her, but she denied him so often that he would go out with these other girls to make her jealous. However, all it did was repulse her. I have her a grateful nod. She was the most perky person. With strawberry blonde hair that was as curly as can be, she was one of the best female warriors under me. Her light skin that was covered in freckles really made her blue eyes pop. How's it going? Just finishing up Sissy Boy's tattoo, I said with a smile as I kept going. That looks amazing. Emmy came over and looked at it as I leaned back and cleaned it off with a paper towel. Sissy Boy. Jacob gave me a look. Down boy, just a joke. I laughed as I kept going. The bell ringed again. This time, the person entering was someone from another pack. Hello, I heard this was the place to go for a tattoo? We all looked at him. Oh, fuck. He gave Ace a run for his money. His black hair was gelled back, his green eyes landed on me, and my world paused. His leather jacket did little to hide just how muscular he was. It was his jeans that caught my attention. They were on the tighter side, but the biker boots finished his look. Shaking off the initial reaction. What are you looking for? I was told to ask for Chris. They were the best. That would be me, I said with an edge. Most people in my school called me Chris. My close friends called me Ice. Very few people called me Kristen. The shock was clear, but he managed to regain himself. I was hoping to get a piece like this. Pulling out a massive drawing, he walked up to me so I could look at it. Where do you want it? I asked. It was a whole mural of a wolf howling at the moon. My back. I wanted to cover the whole thing. I just got back from a 5-year training, and I want to get inked. What is your name? Colt asked. The stranger looked over at him. Name is Alec, son of Alpha Mark from the Black Moon Pack. He walked over to shake Colt's hand. Colt stood up. I got a little nervous, as Colt doesn't have the best reputation. Colt Jefferys, son of Alpha Brian of Blue Fong Pack. That is my twin sister, Kristen Jefferys. Colt nodded towards me. Emmy, future Gamma Jacob, and future Beta Ace. I don't mean to step on toes coming here. I am finishing my last year in school here before transferring. I can't stop myself. Transferring where? Colt shot me a look, but I ignored him. Alec gave me a half smile. More training. That piece will cost around $1,500 and take me a few sessions. Depends on your pain tolerance, I said without looking at them. Instead, I started up again on Jacob. I just needed to finish the shading, and I was done. Do you have our references? Alec asked. Rolling my eyes, I pointed at the book on the stand. Most guys wanted to see my work before they agreed to anything. I was used to it, but still annoyed me. Alec took a few minutes and flipped through the pages. I have always been able to read people extremely easy. Colt said it was because I was an alpha female. Either way, Alec was mysterious. And dangerous, yes, but not at the same time. Okay, I am done, I told Jacob. Putting some soap on the tattoo, I washed it before cleaning it off and applying a healing tape. You know the drill. Don't make me fix your fuck-ups. Keep the bitches from using fingernails this time. I glared at him. That was one time. Jacob got up and looked in the mirror. In the meantime, I washed my hands and grabbed my camera to take a picture. Hold still, I said, moving him in the light. Click. Perfect. I knew they had to leave, but I could tell Colt didn't want to leave me alone with Alec. I've fine, bro, I said in the mind link. Putting gloves on, I started cleaning up my mess. I don't trust him. Emmy will be with me, and Dad will kill you if you are late again. Fine. I want to know the exact minute he is gone. It was a command, but we both knew that didn't work on me. Yes, sir, I said sarcastically. The 3 boys got up and headed towards the door. I shouldn't have to tell you to treat my sister appropriately, Colt said to Alec. Alec's eyes narrowed at the threat, but didn't act on it. I don't make it a habit of disrespecting women. Ice. He looked at me and nodded before leaving. Sorry about that. Have you made a decision? I asked as I threw away all my used items. Yeah, I would like to book it. Spraying down the chair, I whipped it clean. Are you the only artist here? He asked as I was making my way up to the counter. Yes. This is my shop, and mine only. Maybe one day I will expand. Flipping open my calendar, I saw I had an opening tomorrow. I can do tomorrow at 4 p.m. We will see how much you can sit through and go from there in future appointments. Okay. I train in the morning, so that will work. Here are forms you need to fill out. Leave what you have sketched and come back with them filled out and the cash. Handing him an envelope, and he handed me the picture. What are these forms? Alec asked. Saying you understand who I am, what pack I am from, that you are doing this freely, and all the small print stuff. This is a legitimate business that I file taxes on, just the same as the packs do. Okay then. See you tomorrow. Alec headed towards the door. All right, I said, walking out from behind the counter. I didn't have any appointments this afternoon. Emmy and I were going to go for a run and hang out. As soon as he was out the door, Emmy started in. Holy fuck. If you don't fuck him, I will. She was a little horn dog, but she did have a line. As much as she kissed around, she still had her virginity. All talk and not much action. Colt would literally kill him, I said as I grabbed my purse. It was the beginning of summer, and damn if it wasn't still 80 degrees at 7 p.m. I had drove my motorcycle, and so did Emmy. Wouldn't that be a dream match? Walking out, I locked in my shop. Looking at the design, I couldn't have been happier with what I have accomplished. Emmy walked to her bike, and I stood in front of mine. My purse was a backpack style, so after adding my keys and stuff to it, I grabbed my helmet and put it on. It wasn't until my legs were straddling my bike that I noticed Alec across the street, looking directly at me. It gave me goosebumps. Something like that. I said. I knew he could hear us now. The shop was billed to be soundproof, the outside, not so much. Come on, I need to run off some energy. Starting my engine, I waited till she was ready, before we rode past him. His eyes stayed on me the whole time. There was something in them that I didn't understand. Something primal. Chapter 2. Where have you girls been? As soon as our bikes pulled up to the pack house, my mother was already jumping down my throat. For Luna, she was especially overbearing and always nagging on me about something I did wrong. I was never good enough in her eyes. She was a tiny thing, just under 5 feet 5 inches, and not an ounce of fat on her. Luna, and was a force to be reckoned with if she has her mind made up. Usually, she always believes I am wrong without even hearing my side. Thankfully, Colt can see through her. She is technically our stepmother, as our mother died giving birth to us. Dad mated with her not even a year later. Colt was a spinning image of our dad. Even though we looked similar, I looked more like my mother growing up. Just finished up at the shop. We're going to go for a run and meet some friends for supper. I said, stopping in front of her. I don't think so. You haven't finished any of the work that I put on the list for you. A little vein threatened to burst in her forehead. I did it this morning. Before school. Did you even check before you accuse me of something? I yelled, instantly pissed. What is going on here? Dad, Colt, and the boys walked out of the pack house. Once again, she is ignoring her duties I gave her and being disrespectful. This is the last time. She raised her hand to slap me across the face. Fortunately, Colt stepped in and caught her hand before she do it. You will not hit her, Colt said with narrow eyes. You little brat. And enough. Chris, did you do your chores? Dad asked as he folded his hands over his chest. Yes, sir. I did them this morning before school. She is lying.
Luna Enriquez.
No, I'm not. I yelled back as I grabbed my phone. See. I held up my email to show my dad. Intentionally. Walking around, and as I didn't want to show her. Looks like she did it. Dad nodded. What are you doing this evening? Emmy and I were going to go for a run, and then meet the guys at the pizza parlor. That is what I told you. Colt stood up for me. Okay, have a good run, Dad said, handing me back my phone. I also emailed you the report from today. I should let you know that Alpha Mark's son came in and asked for a full back tattoo. I gave him the papers, and he is coming in tomorrow to get it started. Dad looked at me for a minute. What time? 4 p.m., sir. Okay, I will swing by sometime. Dad nodded and turned to leave. That's it? No punishment for being disrespectful. And chased after Dad. What did you do to get her fired up like that?
Colt asked.
We literally just pulled up. She was waiting here when we got here. I can't wait to get out of this fucking place. Come our 18th birthday, I am gone. I said to Colt as Emmy and I headed to our rooms to change. Running away isn't the answer. What is going to change? You won't be Alpha for another 7 years. Dad already said you will get it once you are 25 and not sooner. I'm not waiting around for 7 more years of this. What if your mate is here?
Colt asked.
We were at my bedroom, and all 3 guys looked like I punched them in the face. I hope you like to travel. I will be traveling the world for 7 years. Going into my closet, I changed into a black spandex shorts and neon pink sports bra that popped out of the black sport razorback tank I put on. When I got out, I grabbed a hair tie and loosely tied it back into a ponytail. Look, I know you don't like it, but what else do you want me to do? A girl can only handle so much with no one in her corner. I'm in your corner,
Colt said.
And I love you for it, but you know you can only do so much. You aren't there to stop the physical hits. I hate that. Colt looked down at his shoes. It's fine. You have hit me harder than that. I joked as I grabbed my phone and earbuds. Not that same thing. Colt's eyes narrowed. I love you, bro, but I don't have any options. Finally, grabbing my black and pink tennis shoes, I put them on. I need to go run. I debated if I wanted to put on another sports bra, as my watermelons occasionally hurt when running. Ready? Emmy bounced in my room. Yes. I was happy she was here. See you boys. We will be at the pizza parlor in an hour. Jacob yelled after us. Got it. As we ran out of the pack house, I could still hear and going off to my dad about me when we passed his office. His door wasn't fully shut, but I didn't want to risk getting into trouble, so we kept going. What path? Emmy asked as she fixed her AirPods. Let's run downtown today. We can take the long way to the parlor. Center was the name of the town that all of the packs used. It wasn't part of anyone's territory, and it's where our school is located. Sounds good. We took off running at the same speed. Our long legs stride out. With each step, my worries and anxiety fade away. Everything that was stressing me out was gone. Just the sound of my feet pounding on the hard earth. Even the music playing in my ear drifted to the background. It was a total of 10 miles until we hit the town. Once our feet hit the old brick road, we stopped running to catch our breath. That felt like it lasted forever. Emmy was really winded. I was winded, but not near as bad. Eating too much candy? I teased. The pizza parlor was only 3 blocks in town. It was a popular hangout for high school-age kids. Even the humans gathered around. So it was no surprise when we got there that it was packed. Looking around, I saw Jacob with his arm around a girl in the far corner. Weaving between people, we made our way over to our group. About time you girls show up. The girl on Jacob's arm looked us up and down. She was human and already annoyed me. Gotta keep this figure up. Where is my drink? I looked around and didn't see anything. Colt hasn't gotten here yet.
Ace was sitting across from Jacob.
There was a girl trying to get his attention. I smirked at him and lifted an eyebrow. He shook his head at me, telling me he wasn't feeling it. I think there's a seat over there. Why don't you girls go over there? The human girl under Jacob's arm bravely said. Jacob and Ace shared a look. Excuse me? I said like I didn't hear her. Whoa. Just go get some drinks and order 3 large pizzas for us. I'll handle it. Jacob answered quickly. Yes, please do. I said before turning around. Emmy stayed behind as I walked up to the counter. I wasn't paying attention to who was in front of me when they stepped back and landed on my foot. I wasn't happy. The foo dash. The green eyes looked back and looked down at me holding my toe before looking at my body. I felt butterflies in my stomach. My apologue dash. Watch where you are walking. A girl came up to us and wrapped her arm around Alec's waist. What is with these bitches? He stepped on me, I said, standing up. She was a wolf, and I had no problem putting her in her place. Angela, this is Alpha Brian's daughter, Chris. Her voice changed, but not her attitude or the hatred in her eyes. Nice to meet you, she said through her teeth, not even sticking her hand out.
Yeah,
I said. The counter was clear, so I walked around them. Hey, Chris. Usual? The cashier was from our pack, and in my grade. Her name is Wendy. Yes, please.
Alta Koltesta.
That would be great. Stupid bitch thinks she owns the place. I heard whispered behind me. Wendy's eyes got wide as I turned around. Let's try this again. I pushed my aura out on her. I kept it light since there are humans around. My name is Chris, and as the daughter of Alpha Brian, I would expect some respect. If that is too hard for you, feel free to step outside, and we can handle it. No need for that. I will handle her disrespect. Please accept my apologizes on her behalf. Alec looked murderous as he held her upper arm like a child. She was still bending her neck in submission. Pulling back my aura, I stepped back so the audience we had gained looked away. I don't give second changes, I said, looking directly in Alec's eyes. Noted.
Chris?
Wendy softly called behind me. I heard Alec drag the bitch with him outside. Thank you for the glasses, I said with a smile. Taking them, I went to fill them up. Most people know me and know of my reputation, so it's not often I am messed with. Need help? Turning, I saw Colt walking up behind me with his girlfriend, Kara. Please, I said as I handed them the glasses. What is up with Alpha Alec?
Colt asked.
His bitch was being disrespectful. I told her to step outside, and he said he would handle it, so I let him handle it. We were walking back to the table. The round table that Jacob picked was a little tight, so we were sitting shoulder to shoulder. Somehow I got pushed against Ace. He lifted his arm and rested on the boot behind me. It wasn't a romantic gesture, but more of a necessity, so we could eat. How was your run? The girl on Jacob's arm asked me, shyly. It was good. Helps me clear my head. I said, making nice. I could clearly see Jacob relax in my tone. I wish I enjoyed running, but it's never been for me. She took a sip of her drink. So, Chris, how's business? Kara asked me. We aren't super close since I don't think she will last either. Colt gets bored and honestly, until he finds his mate or tells me he actually loves them, I don't get too attached.
Great.
Already ahead of last year. The pizza arrived then. I said, 3 larges. Jacob said, looking at it all. You 3 men will eat a large to yourself. Colt usually orders 5 larges, and they will always get 8 fully. Not sure why Jacob only wanted 3. The gang started chatting, and I stared off into space. It wasn't until my eyes landed on a set of green ones that I mentally came back to it. He signaled for me to follow him outside as he was standing by the front door. I need to get out for a second, I said. Colt, Kara, and Emmy slide out, so I could get out too. Do you need me to go? Ace asked in my mind link.
No.
Probably wants to make sure I don't kill his girlfriend. I felt this disapproval from him. We weren't together, but occasionally when we got drunk, we would make out. It never went past that, but he always had a slight jealousy when it came to me. Walking out, I spotted Alec sitting on his bike. Wasn't sure if you were going to come out or not,
he said.
The hairs on my arms were instantly raised. Chapter 3. I chose to ignore that comment. What can I do for you? Angela can be a hothead, but she is transferring too, and I don't want there to be problems at school. I almost felt disappointed, almost. As long as she knows her place. If not, I'm sure she will find it soon enough. It wasn't a threat, but a promise. Alex nodded his head in understanding. Why did your brother call you Ice? That name is reserved for close friends. That didn't answer my question. I'm not exactly the warm and fuzzy type. I kept it vague.
Ice.
I guess Ace was done waiting. Alex didn't bristle up, merely glanced over and studied his body language. Your boyfriend?
No.
See you tomorrow, I said before turning back around. Ace held the door open for me. Alex's bike peeled out as Ace shut the door. What was that about? Colt asked, clearly unhappy. His bitch is transferring too, and he doesn't want a scene. I shrugged. What did you tell him? Jacob asked in a not-so-friendly tone. As long as she knows her place, we are good. That I would hate to remind her of it. Hate shit. Ace shook his head in disbelief. Your reputation should be enough to keep her away. Emmy laughed. One little fight, and I am the school bad girl. I sighed. It wasn't one fight, and you put her into a coma. Colt smirked. Bitch needed to know her place. I wasn't hungry, but I didn't want to go home. Let's head out. Jacob drank the last of his soda. You girls need a ride? Colt offered. No, I want to walk home. It's getting dark out. Ace looked out the window. Thanks, Dad. I wasn't aware. Annoyed, I got up and started out the door. Emmy was quick to follow me. You know you'll be in trouble if you are late. Emmy frowned. She was right, but I hated, and I'll be in trouble even if I am early. I hear the boys' bikes come up behind us. Come on, sis. Get on. Colt held out a hand for me. Sighing, I gave in and got on. Emmy got on Ace's bike, and we took off for the pack house. The ride only lasted 5 minutes, and I was back to my hell. Colt dropped us off at the front, and he went around to the garage. As soon as we walked in the front door, something moved from the side.
Slap.
The sting of a hand slapping across my face caused my head to whip to the right. I was caught so off guard that I staggered a little. Stupid girl. How dare you disrespect me?
Luna Ansriquez.
Pure hatred filled my eyes as I looked at her. I wasn't sure what came over me as I walked up to her and returned the slap. However, mine was more powerful, and she fell to the floor crying. What is going in here? Dad roared. I knew I was in trouble, but I didn't regret it. I literally walked in the door, and she slapped me. I can't take this anymore, Dad. I am done being disrespected by someone who isn't even my mother. I hate it here. Come my birthday, I am gone, and you won't ever see me again. So punish me as you want, but I don't care anymore. The boys came in the room as I ranted. Tears ran down my face with the blood from the split lip she gave me. Not even waiting for a response, I ran up to my room, slamming the door shut. My body was buzzing, and I needed to hit something. Thankfully, Colt installed a punching bag to help me focus my anger on it. My mind went black as I punched it over and over again. It wasn't until two massive arms wrapped around me and pinned me against him that I came back. My knuckles were bloody and my arms ached.
Ice.
Calm down.
Colt had me tight against his chest.
I'm so sorry, sis. My breathing leveled out and my eyesight focused. Jacob and Ace were here too. Emmy went home. Ace read my mind. Take a shower and go to bed, Colt said, letting me go. Ace came up and took my chin in his hand. He moved it to look at my lip. It's nothing, I said, jerking my head out of his hand. I convinced Dad to let you cool down. You need to see him in the morning. Okay. I was grateful for that. Thanks. The boys nodded as they left my room. My phone dinged. Not even looking at it, I tossed it on the bed and went to take a shower. The hot water burned against my knuckles, but I welcomed the pain. The water eventually ran cold and I got out. Drying off and putting jammies on, I got into bed.
My phone dinged again.
This time I looked at it. Emmy, you okay? Me. Yeah, I'm okay. Emmy, don't believe you, but we can talk tomorrow. Maybe Ace can ease your mind.
Me. Good night.
She did get me to smile, as I fell asleep instantly. The next morning I woke up early to get ready, and slept in so I knew Dad would be alone in his office. Braiding my hair to the side, I applied a light layer of makeup to try to hide the light bruise on my chin. Finally, I put in flowy shorts with a black bodysuit. Grabbing a pair of sandals, I made my way to his office.
Knock. Knock.
Knock. Come in, Dad's voice boomed.
That,
I said as I walked in and took a seat. Since it was just him and I didn't have to show all the respectful practices. Chris, what's going on? She makes my life a living hell. Just because I look like Mom. All I did was walk in the door, and she attacked me. I know I shouldn't have hit her, but I'm done being a doormat for her abuse. My voice cracked, but I held firm. Colt said you were leaving when you turned 18.
Yes.
I can't live with her anymore. You know you can't go around and hit, and... Dad started. For once, can you just be my dad? Actually hear me, and listen to me. I interrupted. Chris, you know I love you. Standing up. Alpha, can you please just give me my punishment and let me get to school? If he wasn't going to be the dad I needed, I wasn't going to address him as such. Don't do that. He shook his head in disappointment. A knock saved me from answering. The door opened without Dad answering. It was Beta Andrew. Sorry, I can come back. I need to get to school, I said, looking at Dad. We aren't done talking, he said as I turned to leave. Yes, sir. Rushing out of the office, I went straight to the garage. Getting on my bike, I took off, not waiting for anyone else. I felt free with the wind in my hair. In my haste to leave, I forgot my helmet. Not like I don't heal quickly. My knuckles were scabbed over, but still looked angry. Since I left so early, there weren't many cars in the school parking lot. Parking my bike, I got off and went to the picnic table and sat down. Plugging my earphones in, I blasted some old rock songs and got lost in my drawings. Since I was a tattoo artist, I liked to have a bunch of my own work available for people to choose from. This one was of a phoenix. The wings were spread wide with fire around him. I was so lost in the shadowing that I didn't see or feel Ace approaching. Shit! I yelled as he tapped my shoulder, causing me to jump. He sat down across from me. I saw his eyes examine my lip and my knuckles. It made me slightly uncomfortable but loved as well. You okay? Always am, I said as I out my music away. Kristen. Anytime someone uses my full name, I know they are serious. Setting my pencil down, I looked at him in the eyes. What do you want me to say? I'm lovely? Couldn't be better? I'm flat out miserable? Is it too much to ask for a dad who will take my side for once? I was starting to get worked up again. Ace reached over and took my hand. It's okay. I wish I could take your pain away. It sounded so intimate. 7 more years till Colt takes over. I sighed, steering the conversation away from us. Your birthday is coming up. What if your mate is in this pack? We had talked about us being mates, but it didn't feel right. School will be over in a few months. Maybe he will want a vacation. What if he can't take one? He was talking about himself, and he was right. Once Colt turned 18, his alpha training would soar, and I'd barely see him. That meant Jacob and Ace too. I'll send postcards. I hadn't realized the schoolyard was filling up. The first bell rang, telling us we had 5 minutes before class started. Ace frowned as we stood up and made our way in. I felt eyes on me as I looked back and saw Alec looking at me. Angela was clinging to him. I wanted to punch her in the face, but instead, I turned around and went to class. The morning went by slowly. The teacher's lectures were boring. I'm in all the advanced classes, so I really needed to pay attention, but I couldn't. My last class, advanced calculus, was all I had left before lunch. The door opened and Alec walked in with another guy I didn't recognize. Alec looked around and saw me before taking a seat on the other side of the room. His sexy friend sat beside him. I sat towards the back as I had a hard time focusing in the front. It bothered me not knowing what was happening behind me, so I would sit in the back. Occasionally, I would feel his eyes in me, but I tried to focus. The teacher was going over last semester's progress, so I pulled out my sketch pad and kept working on the phoenix. Most people didn't know my IQ was that of a genius. 3 years ago, I tested out of high school, but I didn't want to be a freak, so I chose to stay and go year by year. All the teachers knew that, so they didn't call on me and didn't worry when I skipped class. Not to mention they were all wolves and knew who I was. Dad and the other alphas commanded them to not tell a soul about my IQ. It wasn't something I wanted to share. When the bell finally rang, the teacher called on me. "Miss Chris, can you come see me for a second?" Everyone but Alec and his friend left. "Hello, Miss Simpson. I am Alec, and this is Jasper. I wanted to introduce myself to you." "That's right. Alpha Mark's son." She looked at him. "Yes, ma'am. Nice to meet you. I will say that being the alpha's son doesn't excuse missed homework." She glared at him. I stood awkwardly off to the side. Understood. He was clearly annoyed, but didn't push it. "Miss Chris, can I count of you again this year?" I had to smirk. "Yes, ma'am. Looking forward to it." "Perfect. I'll send you an email with details." "Sounds good," I said and left. "Wait." Alec jogged to catch up with me. "Chris, this is Jasper. He will be my beta." "Jasper, this is Alpha Brian's daughter." "Nice to meet you," he said politely. I raised my eyebrow at his level of professionalism. "You too. If you would excuse me." I turned to leave. My stomach was rumbling. "Still in for this afternoon?" Alec called out. "Yes, sir," I said without looking back. I knew they were following me, but I didn't care. I wanted food. Chapter 4. The line wasn't long, so I was able to get my tray and find a seat rather quickly. The cafeteria was like all the rest. Each pack sat in their own corner, and humans filled in the rest. "Ice," Jacob called out and waved me over. "Girl, you don't look too bad," Emmy said, looking at my lip. "I've had worse." I shrugged. I felt safe here with them all. My own personal bodyguards. "Did you talk to Dad?"
Colt asked.
A little before Andrew came in. "What punishment did he give you?" Emmy asked, looking nervous. "Nothing yet." The hamburger tasted bland, but I welcomed the food. The conversation filtered to something else, as my mind went to all the things I needed to do. "Chris, you in?" Ace asked, snapping me out of my thoughts. "What?" "Going to the club tomorrow." Today was Friday, and usually we go out on Saturdays. "I don't have a dress." "You guys keep spilling your drinks in them." Narrowing my eyes at them. "We can go shopping tonight." Emmy clapped her hands together. "Can't, I have a tattoo." "It's okay, I'll go for us both." "I know your size. Don't you dare get me anything pink," I warned as I pointed my knife at her. Everyone laughed, and I actually felt myself relax a little. Going out always helped me relax and ignore my problems. All too soon, lunch was over. Standing up, I emptied my trap and went to my next class. None of my friends were in my classes,
So I always sat by myself.
This was a college-level accounting class. In total, 3 other students qualified to be in here.
Until today.
Alec walked in right as I sat down with Jasper in tow. Since class still had a few minutes, they sat next to me. "Are you in all the advanced classes?" Alec asked. "Yes." "Why this one?" He pushed. "I own my own shop, and you wonder why I am in accounting?" Lifting an eyebrow at him. "What happened to your lip?" Jasper asked. Alec's eyes instantly went to it, and the anger in his eyes was clear. "Nothing." "And your knuckles?" Jasper pushed. "Let's get started." Mr. Engels started taking, saving me from answering. Before we begin, Miss Chris, can I count on you this year? He asked me. It's on my to-do list. I confirmed. I felt Alec give me a sideways glance, but otherwise, they left me alone. Thankfully, when class was over, the teacher wanted to speak with Alec, so I was able to slip away undetected. That is, until 4 p.m. when he will be in my shop, which is in 30 minutes. Currently, I was sitting on my front desk chair. I had to take his drawing and move it to transfer paper. The guys hadn't shown up yet, and neither has my dad. I was just printing it out when the door opened. Hello. Alec and Jasper walked in the front door. I didn't really uncomfortable about them. Maybe I should, but I didn't. Hey, use the bathroom if you need to. Do you have the paperwork and money? Right here. Alec placed the paperwork and the cash on the desk. Perfect. Taking the paperwork out, I looked it over to make sure his signature is where I needed it. Alec went to the restroom. This place is yours? Jasper asked as I finished counting the money. Yup. Those are all my work. Jasper was flipping through my book. Impressive. The door opened and the guys walked in. Colt, this is Jasper, Alec's future beta. Jasper, this is my twin Colt. We are Alpha Brian's kids. Then future beta Ace and Gamma Jacob. Jasper shook their hands when Alec walked back in. Colt. Alec greeted and shook their hands again. Ready? I asked Alec. Yeah. Take your shirt off and lay face down. He did as I asked and I started opening my tools. How do you guys like it so far?
Colt was trying to make small talk.
Different but nice. Jasper said. You all look like a pole is stuck up your asses. Relax and take a seat. I eyed all 4 of them. Alex snorted, but his head was in the hole. Taking the stencil, I positioned it and pressed it down. Slowly peeling it back, I made sure it looked centered. Go look in the mirror and see how you like it. Alec got up and walked over to the 360 mirrors I had installed. Damn, his body was sexy as fuck. His muscles were perfectly shaped. Looks good. He laid back down, and I got to work. To his credit, he barely flinched as I started. Ice, did you get the emails from the teachers?
Colt asked me.
Yeah, 2 of them even asked me in class. Yeah, what was that about? Jasper asked. I barely glanced up at him. Miss Perfect over here has been in charge of organizing the school events for the last 5 years now. Jacob always was bitter. I was smarter than him. He was stupid smart too, but not like me. 5 years? You're only a senior. Jasper was confused. It's really not a big deal. I excelled at school, so I took over the events. I don't do all the planning, but most of it. I have assistants who do the legwork. I write the test, do the spelling bees, prom. I shrugged. It was really me telling a handful of students what to do. You have done this since 8th grade? Alec asked.
Yeah,
one of my many talents.
Anyway,
there is a spelling bee in a month that I needed to pick out words, and prom is coming up. Plus our end of the school year prep rally. Ice, we need to head out, are you okay?
Colt asked in the mind link.
Yeah, I'm good. I responded. They all stood up. See you at supper. Colt waved goodbye before leaving. Ace gave me one last look before he took off too. That your boyfriend? Jasper smirked.
No.
I've known all those guys since we were born. Actually, our birthdays are within a week of each other's. So, how smart are you? Jasper pried. Excuse me? I gave him a look that said how stupid he was for asking. You are in all the advanced classes and do all that work. I'm a mysterious woman. The door opened, and my dad walked in. Hey, Dad. Jasper immediately stood up and Alec made a move to do the same. Stay where you are. Dad waved Alec off. He lowered himself back down, but his body was stiff. Dad shook Jasper's hand. Nice to meet you, Alpha Brian. Jasper's demeanor changed.
Relax, boys.
Just came to check on my daughter. Dad walked up and looked at my work. Nice piece. Who drew it? I did, sir. Alec said with his head turned to the side. How much longer are you working tonight? Not sure. I'd like to get all the line work done before we call it. I had most of it anyway. Maybe some shading depending on his pain level. Okay. I brought you supper. Dad lifted a bag and set it on my desk. Thanks. I said, and kept working. Don't worry about coming to my office. I stopped and looked up. Really?
No punishment?
I shouldn't have to tell you boys to be respectful. No, sir. Jasper answered. Dad nodded and walked out. Can I order pizza to be delivered here? Jasper asked. Sure, address is on my business card, but go outside and order. Shitty service in here. Jasper nodded. Taking a card, he went outside. As soon as he was gone, Alec turned to his side and touched my lip. It was both sexual and full of concern.
Who did that?
I wasn't going to spill family drama. Nothing for you to worry about. I asked around and learned about your reputation. I lifted an eyebrow at him. Rumor is your dad hits you. That honestly surprised me. Enough that my jaw dropped. My dad has never once laid a hand on me in that manner. I said it so with much conviction that Alec must have believed me. Then your mom? She isn't my mom. My mom died when I was little. Grabbing his shoulder, I tried to lay him down. He refused. Do you need help?
I've fine.
In case you haven't noticed, my brother and his posse are protective enough. Alec laid down after that. That I did notice. So, are you with Ace? Like I said, no, but not sure why you care. Just like to make sure I don't step on toes. Is Angela not your girl? A wannabe girl, but not by me. Alec grumbled. So, you allow girls to hang off you? Must like to play around. Let me guess, different flavor each week. I said, unimpressed. No, actually. I am very picky in who I take on dates. How old are you? Turned 18 last month. No mate yet. Nope. Still looking. Are you though? Sounds like you are busy with training. This last training is only for a week and then I'll be home for good. Jasper walked back in. Pizza is ordered. What are you guys talking about? When is your 18th birthday? Tomorrow, actually. Oh, happy early birthday then. Thanks, still trying to decide on what we're going to do. Right on cue, Emmy walked in. Look what I bought you. She held up the skimpiest bubblegum pink dress I've ever seen. Alec turned to look and Jasper's eyes about popped out of his head. You better be kidding. I am not wearing that. Ah, just the reaction I wanted. No, that's my dress. This is yours. She held up a black dress. Plunging neckline with side cutouts. It looked like it would stop just below my ass. Much better. I approved. Where are you ladies going wearing those dresses? Jasper asked. Maybe he is the playboy of the group. To the club. Actually, I changed my mind. I want to go tonight too. Emmy popped her hip out and placed her hand on it like, dare argue with me. Okay, I shrugged. Really, just like that? I didn't get punished, so yeah, let's go. Seriously? Emmy looked shocked. Punished for what? Jasper asked, his eyes narrowed. She slapped her. Emmy, shut up. I yelled. Tell me. Jasper walked up to Emmy and grabbed her chin softly and made her look at him. She was powerless at that moment. Lunan. Holy shit. You did not. Jasper asked, shocked. She hit me first. I muttered as I resumed working. Alec placed his hand on my knee and squeezed it. His thumb rubbed my thigh. This was all behind the table, so Jasper and Emmy couldn't see. Pizza is here. Jasper went outside to get it. Emmy went to the bathroom. As Jasper came back in, he looked weirdly at the bathroom door. What's wrong? I asked. Alec raised up and looked at Jasper. Dude, what is it? How old is Emmy? She is 18. He frowned and sat his pizza down. Dude, Alec said again. I think maybe she is my mate. Alec and I looked at each other. Why do you say that? I asked. Just the feeling I have. Alec, I think we're going out tonight. Alec looked at me and back at him. Ah, fuck. Girl, I brought makeup so we can get ready here and not go back to the pack house. Emmy popped her head out. Did you call Colt and tell him? I asked. Yeah, and they are meeting us since we have our bikes, and that isn't good with these dresses. You bring me shoes? I got it all, babe. I opened a mind link to my dad. We are going out tonight. That's what Colt said. Stay with him, be safe. Thanks, Dad. I said, and cut the link. My mood improved dramatically. How's your pain level? Are you at a stopping point? Just about. Let me finish the part, and we can call it. I was working on his upper shoulders, so my saddle stool was making his head between my thighs.